Once upon a tabletop there was a green meadow. It was freshly cut, and in the corner was a haystack, and behind it a dark and mysterious wood. And in that meadow stood 3 tents, in which were 3 brothers, Albert, Bill and Charlie. They loved camping in the meadow and playing hide and seek, and most of all they loved chasing bubbles. And in the evening, when the sun set and the moon rose, they would gather round their campfire and sing songs like Ging Gang Gooly Gooly. But one night they were frightened. They saw a mysterious shadow with red eyes. The next morning, all 3 brothers were rather worried and were not sure that they could spend another night in their tents. Albert, who was always rather hasty, was the first one to act. He started immediately to build a house from the hay bales standing in the corner of the meadow, and as night came, he hid himself in that house. Along came the wolf, and with a huff and a puff, he blew that house down. And then he chased Albert into the dark woods. The very next morning, Bill, who had been hiding in the woods, came out with a great bundle of sticks and started to build for himself a house out of those sticks. He hid himself inside as the sun set and the moon rose, and sure enough, the wolf turned up, and with a huff and a puff, he blew that house down, and then chased Bill into the dark woods. The very next morning, a crane appeared at the side of the meadow and lowered in a huge pile of bricks. There was Charlie, and he set about building himself a house out of bricks. It really was a very solid and very beautiful house. As the sun set and the moon rose, he locked himself in his house, and, sure enough, the wolf appeared again. He huffed and puffed, but he could not blow that house down. The next morning, Charlie rose early and went into the woods to find what had happened to his brothers. And in a clearing, he found what he feared, an ice cream making machine, and he knew it was for making pig ice cream. He hid as the wolf appeared and adjusted the machine. Then the wolf went, and sure enough came back with Albert and Bill. He went and switched on the machine, and then took Albert and Bill and tried to put them into the machine, but Charlie switched it off. The wolf looked inside to investigate, and quickly Albert and Bill pushed him in. This time the machine would make wolf ice cream. They left the woods as quickly as they could and went back to Charlie's lovely brick house. And once again they could play in the meadow, play hide and seek, and when the sun began to set and the moon began to rise, they were snug in the house. And once again they lit a campfire and sang Ging Gang Gooly Gooly, and as the night grew darker, they snuggled up safely inside the brick house. Good night, Albert, Bill and Charlie.